Hello everybody and welcome to another third-party review. In today's video I'm taking a look at the Tyrant, the Iron Factory EX-36. It's their take on the IDW Megatron, and they have included so many awesome variations of this figure. Spinning the box around, we get his monstrosity version, we get his origins where he was the gladiator, we get the infiltration, and then we get the all hail. So many different versions all under one roof. Here we have him out of the packet, and I've never known a Megatron to come with so many different accessories, hands and add-on kits. It's literally all Megatrons in one. Absolutely adore that bulk and heft. I would love for there to be a masterpiece scaled version of this. I know we have the MMC's kind of take on this, but he does not have all of these add-ons like this beautiful guy does. We've got lots of different variations. You've got the cannons, the arms that pull up. We've got various different weapons. We've got that Origins head. Really awesome looking figure. We've got some blue hands there. And then all of these accessories in here. We've got those kind of G1 style legs and fusion cannon. We've got that pistol-like backpack as well. We've got his mace weapon. We've got different hip skirts. He is amazing. Fantastic build quality as well. Really hefty figure. I've been trying to get out of the Legends game, and then we got the likes of Iron Factory doing these and Magic Square doing theirs, and it's so difficult because they're amazing figures, but I can't help but feel that Iron Factory are maybe not as consistent with their scale. I thought Tarn should have been about this sort of size, but he does come up a fair bit shorter. I know, I just always see him as kind of being a Megatron size figure, and that works well for me. Him towering over Blaster like that, just the sheer heft and size, I personally think that works really well. Articulation for a small guy is exceptional. Head can look up, down, left and right. Arms can go all the way around and come out to the side on a pivot. There's a rotation up there. There's a nice bend on the elbow, rotation on the wrist. We even have an open and a close motion on those hands. The waist can rotate. We don't have any abdominal crunch, but we do have movable hip skirts. Legs that come forwards and back. Upper thigh rotation out to the side. Nice bend on those knees. Actually a double joint on those knees because you can tweak it slightly. You can bring the kneecap up to hide any joints. Feet can go up and down on the toe. The heels can also move up and down, and we can pivot at a substantially wide rate. Pop his head off, put the sword in his hand there. We can pop the new one back on, and there is a screw at the back of the head which we can tighten up. That's his Origins head there. He's got his gladiatorial sword. Now I would like something to go across his chest just to mix that up just a little bit, to chop and change, but beggars can't be choosers. You want to just flick these shoulders down. Let's just switch out that head. Like I said, I've left the screw under, and bring in that infiltration style head. It's very simple, you know, it's just a very slight mod, but it gives that Megatron a really nice different look. I like it. I think it looks pretty darn awesome, if I do say so myself. Now to go from here to our next version, let's go for the monstrosity version next. So we want to untab these shoulder pieces like so. They just switch off. We've got to pull his cannon off, go back to that G1 style head, and these leg pieces just untab from the side and slide off. His hip skirts are just tabbed in as well. It's literally taking him down to the bare naked Megatron. Now you want to bring in his G1 style fusion cannon, and then we can start to rebuild him bigger, faster, stronger. 1, 2, and 3. Oh. And there we have him in his monstrosity mode. I believe the actual gun configuration I've got here is actually for when we transform him up into his vehicle mode. And from here we can change him out to the all hail Megatron, the one that I suppose most people are probably more. Switch his cannon out, put that back on his arm, come around to these back panels, and these are tabbed in. I want to just slide this piece off like so, bring in the G1 style piece, and again using this one, that's going to push and tab in, and there we have the kind of most G1 look for him. Gain loads of space for insignias. Absolutely adore what they've done. Now you get various different hands. I believe the baggy, and we got, I think this is for Prime as well. And then we get the same sort of hands, but for Megatron. My personal favourite is to switch out for his Energon mace. Looks really good when he's got his gladiatorial gear on. Or of course we get those kind of Gundam style hands where we can put those up and have a really kind of dynamic looking pose. Really fun little figure. Definitely one of the best Megatrons I've owned to date. Enjoy this a lot more than even some of the Masterpiece scale ones. It is a huge bundle of fun done on a itty bitty tiny scale, and it's only taken me about 5 minutes to realise I had his shoulders on back to front. But what a gorgeous looking Megatron. What do you all think? I think they've done an exceptional job. A lot of kind of kit bashing influences here, I think. I love the fact that we can pull panels off and rebuild him as we see fit, but we don't seem to lose any of that articulation. I love the fact that we've got so many different looks for him. The only downside to that is I am going to have to buy more than one, because I love how that monstrosity or the infiltration, the origins is okay, but I think the infiltration or the monstrosity are definitely my favourite. And you need an all hail as well. I mean, just look at him. Look at him! I mean, that has to be the very best rough and ready Megatron I've ever owned. Taking him back here to his monstrosity look, basically because the tank mode that he transforms up into, it is kind of compatible with all other modes, but it's based around this monstrosity look, and then we just add or remove a few features to turn it into the various different options. Right, the first port of action is to remove the fusion cannon, and keeping this hinge piece pressed in, you want to just pull down these parts here, and they are going to fold down. You rotate the mega head around, and then that's going to push down. Flaps on the back of these arms, they are going to fold up. Depending on which hands you have, I've got the closed fists on here at the moment. For the purpose of the transformation, I don't think we can do it with the alternative fists. I think we have to use these articulated ones because we need to fold them up into that void. And of course the Gundam style fists unfortunately don't have that point of articulation in them, but there we go. Just fold those fists upwards, bring this tab back down. These shoulder panels are going to collapse down. Bring the toes down like so. Bring these shin pads down. open up these legs because we have these tabs here, which are going to fold down and fold down. The legs are then going to collapse. The crotch opens and comes out on the other side like this. The chest panel is going to come up, and then this whole piece here comes up. Rotate these arms like so, and then these are going to come up, and we're going to collapse them down, and there's a tab just on the underside of each of these, and they're going to push in and tab in on here. So again, with this side, it's going to collapse down and just push and firmly tab into position. These then come up to the side and come around. This panel can then come all the way back down, and as we bring that down, we've now got all of this space underneath for Megatron's head to slide under, so it's no longer in the way. And this panel comes up like this. These come up, come around to the side, and just tab in at the front. Untab, untab, and untab so that these can come up. This lifts up to the back like this, and then from here this is going to slide in. And if you look, there's a tab on either side of those wrists, and those are going to tab into these panels at the front here. And the same, there's some more panels just at the rear of this cannon. These are going to tab together, make sure everything is tabbed in as it should be. And I believe that is our Megatron. I think that's everything. Now, of course, there are different variations. We can chop and change the gun that we place in the top there. They all pretty much do that same sort of thing. They can split and then tab in at the top. Of course, we can change out the rear tank treads so they look like guns as well. There are various different things that we can do. We can bring in some of the accessories. For example, we can plug that cannon into there. I mean, if you really wanted to go OTT, we could even bring in another fusion cannon and place that on the side. We can bring those bits back down like this. We can bring in one and plug it in at the back there. Have I gone a little bit overboard? But you get the idea. It's not perfect. It does have a slight twist in it. You have to get it exactly spot on. Otherwise it sits slightly offset. But all in all, it's a pretty decent tank mode, and a sacrifice I'm willing to take to give us all of those glorious bot modes. Give you an idea of his scale. Here he is alongside some of his Legends-sized colleagues. Of course, I've still got Tarn in his Mortal Engines version. Very much looking forward to getting the rest of those guys. As much as I want to come out of the Legends game, it's so difficult because I love the IDW figures, and Iron Factory are absolutely nailing it with those. And then we get the likes of these little mini masterpiece figures as well. It's such a difficult thing. You can't collect everything. I've got to make changes somewhere, but there's so many great products coming out at the moment. I can't sell enough of my older things to purchase the newer things at the moment. I just can't keep up. Big thanks to Robot Kingdom for getting these sent out to me before the Chinese New Year. I hope to get a few more of these videos done before I fly out to Hong Kong myself. We'll be doing some vlogs in Hong Kong. If you'd like me to hunt down anything in particular, we'll do some toy hunt videos. We'll be taking my eldest son with me as well, and riding the tram and tube as much as possible to save on my poor malfunctioning legs. Until next time, from myself and the Tyrant, thanks for watching. Bye.